just be like, Mythos Tales. I'm no help at all.
I know. Not so much.
We on?
Oh. Yeah, we need an opening theme song.
Oh yes, we need to sing.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Off the Shelf. And today we are playing a really, I hope, rad game that I've been wanting to try for a long time called Mythos Tales. It is really a cool adaptation of, I think, the old Choose Your Own Adventure books set in the H.P. Lovecraft world, which is going to be
it looks like.
really awesome.
Yeah.
So let's read the introduction to this game. Welcome to the world of H.P. Lovecraft's Arkham, Massachusetts, set during the 1920s and 30s. Evil lurks in the heart and history of Arkham's brooding streets, preying upon the weak and bold alike, those who cannot resist the dark call and seek out forbidden knowledge. Professor Henry Armitage, director of the Orne Library at Muscatonic University, has asked for your help to investigate a broad range of diabolical mysteries. Certainly, there will be a reasonable explanation for all the horrors you are soon to witness, obviously. Your sanity may depend upon it. There may be a reasonable explanation why Arkham's sanitarium remains crowded. Armitage is your longtime friend and mentor, so he passes on a bitter warning before you start down this path. Your nights are soon to... Hold on, let me get better. Your nights are soon to be filled with shadow.
Good old Professor Armitage.
Yeah, Armitage. In Mythos Tales, the goal of the game is for players to investigate a myriad of strange occurrences set within the fictional town of Arkham, Massachusetts. As you see here.
The lovely map. I got some notes because we're going to be tracking a mystery.
The volume chronicles your adventures performed at the behest of Professor Henry Armitage, guardian of the dangerous books held in the restricted section of the Orne Library. In these investigations, you will work independently of Armitage. The introduction to each mystery is all the information you need to set off on your own. Players work together, discussing aloud as they follow lead, taking notes on anything and everything. You good note taker? Because
we're gonna find out. Yes, I think I am.
To answer the questions at the end of each mystery. To win, players need to successfully answer the most pertinent questions without taking too many penalties. This is a game of surprises, so be prepared for anything. All right, so we can open up the investigation book. We will be playing the first investigation called A Grain of Evil.
All right. So do we just kick off by reading?
Yep.
All right, so A Grain of Evil, Investigation 1, Arkham, Massachusetts, June 30th, 1929. Responding eagerly to a telegram from your friend and mentor, you rush to the Mystic University Orne Library. There is a warm summer breeze gently rustling the trees, allowing the dappled sunlight to flicker lightly into the streets. You cross the University Quadrant to reach a great Gothic entrance. And there's a pretty sweet illustration if you can see it in the camera. Professor Henry Armitage, Miskatonic's erudite librarian, greets you at the polished wooden door. Erudite threw me off. Greets you at the polished wooden door to his office. He leans on his cane, his wrinkled face cracking into a smile. Well then, I have an interesting little problem for us to explore. It has been some time since we exercised your deductive faculties, so how about a simple mystery to get you going again? Obviously, there's a chance that the events last evening involve more than a simple crime, but I do not believe that to be the case. However, after my experience of last summer, one can never be too careful. He shudders visibly upon alluding to his confrontation with the Watleys in the village of Dunwich. Those
I never
Watleys.
liked the Watleys.
Yeah, their barn was Not a good place to be. Armitage settles in a chair, adjusting the violets on his desk. Inspector Garrison called over breakfast this morning and precipitated my note to your good selves. It seems the inspector is at a loss and requires our special assistance. Last evening, as you may have noted from this morning's edition of the Arkham Advertiser, which
they literally give you a newspaper.
So that's June 30th, 1929, June 30th, 1929. So this morning's paper, pretty sweet.
So what's really neat about the paper is there's a lot of flavor in it, but there's also some clues that we might be able to find in it.
Yeah.
And as we go through not only this adventure, but the next ones, you can look at the next adventures as well as previous adventures papers.
Oh,
yeah, so it's really cool.
Like the papers from the past might have clues.
Exactly.
Nice.
So all these adventures
That's
connect
awesome.
to each other.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so last evening, as you may have noted from this morning's edition of the Arkham Advertiser, a disturbance occurred on West High Street. It was a pleasant enough evening, and at 7 o'clock, the streets were relatively full. A young woman, well-dressed and of seemingly good health, collapsed on the sidewalk after emerging in a state of distress from the Uptown Park. A small crowd gathered to assist the young lady. An orderly from St. Mary's Hospital and his wife stooped to relieve her, and a policeman was found. The orderly noticed a growing crimson stain seeping into the woman's blouse. He slit the garment free with his pocket knife. At once, the horrific nature of a wound in the lady's chest was apparent, and he stemmed the steadily increasing blood flow. I'm happy to report that disaster was averted by this quick thinking. An ambulance arrived in good time to take her to the hospital, and they have managed to stabilize her condition. The librarian pauses to sip coffee from a delicate cup. The policeman assumed this was an attack by an unknown assailant until the woman regained consciousness momentarily in the ambulance. The ambulance. She raved nonsensical syllables before crying out that the trees were alive. Alive.
With the sound of music.
Oh my gosh. We should call M. Night Shyamalan, because the happening is happening.
The happening is happening. This is the village.
This is going to be... Never mind. Whilst dealing with the mysterious lady, the policeman was sharp-eyed enough to spot a man lingering in the crowd of onlookers.
It's a twist.
The man was acting in a furtive way, watching the proceedings with a curious detachment. He was tall, over 6 feet, with a worn brown suit and dark hair, and a distinctive birthmark under his left eye. When the policeman called out to the man, he fled the scene. Being preoccupied with the lady, the policeman was not able to pursue and noted a description in his pocketbook. Armitage sits back, the leather of his chair creaking. He steeples his fingers. The identity of both the woman and this mysterious fugitive remains a mystery. It is also for us to determine if there are forces beyond the mundane at work. You better get going. Let Garrison's men take care of the crime scene. They do get rather protective. Before you set off, Armitage says, remember, if you need help, come see me at my home. I am unlikely to be in my office when working a case.
Okay.
And that's where we begin.
So we have choices to make now. We can set off and try to go to different places around town that we think might be of use, that we want to investigate. So to find those, based on what we just read, there were some clues in there. And then we can find them in the directory, and that's where we can go. We also have allies that we can call on if we need help. And Professor Henry Armitage tells you sternly, now before you are tasked with solving your first case, I give you a list of people and places that will prove valuable, I'm sure. Visiting these allies is a great way to find new leads and steer your investigation back on track if you find yourself blind. However, choose carefully. You can't visit many of them in any investigation unless your goal is to waste precious time.
Uh-oh.
So you can visit Armitage's office, Dr. Vincent Stunton, who is a trauma surgeon and chief pathologist at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital if your investigations lead to injuries he might be one to call on. We don't have to write these ones down because we got them here, but
Yeah, I'm just kind of writing down, so I'm writing down, she's in the hospital at St. Mary's, if we
Yep.
want to visit St. Mary's Hospital, man in the brown suit, and then Inspector Garrison is the one
Okay.
that called.
Okay. And we have someone who is versed in folklore, if we need to do some folklore. We have a research assistant if we need some research. William Coffin, a shady fellow, but some of your investigations might take you to some unsavory places that he may know about. He'll gladly give us information for the right price. We have Nicholas Nicholas S. We're going to go with. He's a civil servant, but he's a keeper of legal documents such as birth certificates, marriage documents, death certificates, as well as deeds to local property. Something we call on. The Arkham Police Station is home to Inspector Morris Garrison, who we've already been told about. Herbert Corbett is our local criminologist. As long as there is evidence to examine, his forensic expertise is unmatched. Friendly and verbose Arlo Hoppin is a dispatcher and cabbie. You'd be surprised who he meets during the course of his normal workday. He's also a talented musician. Dorothy Davis, she's with the Historical Society. If we need genealogy traced. And for all things on the occult, when you can't find good information at the library, Pasquale Fenton is Arkham's resident occultist and spiritualist. Pascal meddles in forces he would be better off avoiding. His knowledge is of the so-called Great Old Ones and is extensive, and on occasion you may be forced to team up with him, much to the chagrin of Armitage.
Oh, he's kind
They're
of
they're kind of rivals.
adversarial.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
kind of professional. They're colleagues, but they're rivals. I kind of go with the whole, possible Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the structure of playing this game multiplayer. Like, what's...
So what'll happen is someone takes the lead on each day. Put that X right where. Yeah, there we go.
Leave it there, Laura. Stop fucking around.
So we go. Right now is the investigation phase. For each day we have 3 places we can go,
Okay.
which actually works out perfectly with 3 players.
Yeah.
And we have 4.5 days to get as many clues as we want. If we think we're done with this and we have as many clues as we need to answer the questions we want, we can end the investigation early and score extra points.
Do we know what the questions are?
No.
Okay.
That's the best
that's
part.
awesome. That's
Oh, God.
That's fabulous.
So what'll happen is you can take the lead on the first one and say, this is where we want to go. And you say, okay, if we want to visit who are the 3 people you wrote
Hospital.
down?
The
hospital.
Yeah, like trying...
We can look up the hospital
Right.
in the book, find out where it is, and then go from there. And then you pick this up and you read the passage.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
And that's really all there is to it. And then we just
And we
keep
discuss and-
doing that until we either run out of time or
all
we
right.
want to stop early.
So we are morning of day 1. Who wants to take a lead on the first one?
Go for it.
I mean, you've been reading the paper.
I have. I've been trying to pick up on things. There's
Okay.
been fires set on the Garrison Street Bridge, and people have been breaking into the Emperor home on the 3rd floor, stuff like that. So, trying to pick out what's actually relevant and important.
So,
and what is not.
where is the Uptown Park?
The Uptown Park.
Yeah,
Let's find
because
this.
it's where she came out of on High Street when she was injured.
Okay.
So we're gonna look that up in here.
Uptown Park. Okay. Yeah.
And is it identified in there? Yeah, in Uptown Park.
Do you
It's on
use-
West High
High
Street, but I
Street.
didn't find West High Street. I didn't find High Street.
up.
Okay. Does it say where
Uptown
the Emperor
Laundry?
home is?
How is there no Uptown Park here? Do you see Uptown Park? I got Uptown Laundry.
Nope. Look in parks. or
Funeral homes,
public?
boarding houses, diners, local culture. No. Hey, Penny Arcade.
Well, and when you look up a location, does it tell you, or like
Yeah,
a house or something, does it
yeah.
tell you where it's located?
Yeah, it'll
it gives
tell
you.
you.
The, gives you the code number.
Okay.
Other
Interesting.
locations. University Island, the shore.
Is the Emperor home on West High Street? Would be my question.
Okay. What's it called?
The Emperor, just the
Owners of the
Emperor home.
I don't see Uptown Park anywhere.
Okay.
Here you go. You
Wow.
try.
Okay.
Well, let's look up this Emperor home.
Emperor, yeah, the Emperor. It might help us track it down. Because somebody broke in there the same night that she came out.
There is one Emperor, U41.
Okay. U41.
40.
West High
Here's
Street.
West High
41.
Street.
Okay,
So I mean, she found a news. What's happening? Somebody broke into.
well, yeah, that they've seen lights on in the third floor there. So I don't know if it's relevant, but she popped out on West High Street.
So that's East High Street. That park is maybe here.
Yeah.
And you right next to U41. Really?
Okay, all right. See, maybe
That's.
pulling something from our fantastic paper. Right here.
Well, so is that? Do you want to take that scene?
Take that scene.
Yes.
What do you mean? Go to the house?
Yeah. So we go to the house.
Yeah.
The
and
Emperor's house?
Yeah,
I think
the
so
Emperor's
because
house.
it's close enough to where she's at. It's something. I mean, unless you guys disagree and
no.
you have something better.
No,
All
I
right,
think it's
so,
cool.
So we're gonna
Okay.
look for U41
All right.
in here,
There you go.
and you can take us there.
All right.
And so do we mark morning of day one?
Now we are going to the morning of day one.
All right. So we leave.
Hopefully this isn't a red herring.
So what you're going to want to do when you mark this down, you're going to want to make sure you mark down that we've been to U41.
Right. Yeah, because it doesn't. Like, what are these little
Those aren't relevant
Markers.
to this game.
part of it?
Yeah, that's going to be for expansions.
So I want
Okay.
to keep track of where we go.
Where we visit and anything that turns. You want to take,
Okay.
things, references, things that turn up.
All right. So as our first move, we're going to U41.
Because if we can go in if we can figure everything out and going to less places, we get bonus points.
Okay.
Nice. Everybody loves a good bonus point. All right. The Emperor home is dilapidated, crumbling building that exudes a kind of tragic melancholy for its loss of grace. The front door is boarded up, as are the windows. Around the side, you find a window that has had the boards carefully removed and placed neatly on the ground. Squeezing through the narrow opening, you find yourself in a moldy hallway. The smell of rot and damp permeate the air. There's little to discover on the ground floor, apart from evidence that the hallways have been well trodden recently. The dust is thick everywhere except for a trail leading to the stairs. The trail continues up the stairs onto the third floor. In a large room, presumably a former music room, judging by the moldy old piano pushed into a corner, you find something disturbing. The room contains a large painted pentagram on the wooden floor, with unlit black candles at each point. A series of sigils are daubed across the walls and floor, with the word, Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
Yeah, Nyarlathotep is one of the.
Yes.
That's one of the old, ancient, great old ones.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Recurring again and again. You try not to stare at the symbols too closely as they make your vision swim. Perhaps an illusion from the low light, you are not sure. Between a gap in the floorboards, you spot a small silver medallion, but apart from its unusual design, it doesn't tell you much.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, what I picked up, it's old, broken down. There's a music room with a pentagram on the floor. Black candles, sigils saying Nyarlathotep, and a silver medallion.
Yeah, it's your typical Saturday night, in Arkham, Massachusetts.
All right, so
Right.
now
They're doing rituals.
here's my question: is do we want to try to follow leads from this, or do we want to try and follow a couple different threads at once?
And that is something we can think about, or for us to talk about, because we only have so many days and parts of days to go and look at stuff.
At this
right?
point, I'd say leave it unless something else tells us to check out like if it leads us back to how she got injured or something.
I do feel like, just in case, we want to follow multiple threads in case one is leading
Dies.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is creepy and all, but it could just be
People playing around.
Well,
or,
yeah. I mean,
like it could not be relevant at all.
Let's face it.
Kids can be kids.
This is a shady town.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
a little creepy at times. So
Yeah.
this could
Yeah.
just be your, regular neighborhood,
Right.
great old one summoning.
Yeah.
They just need to get a scroll of Eldritch Convocation, and they'll complete the ritual.
Right, exactly. So,
Nice pitch.
do we
Sorry.
want to go talk to the inspector?
Either the inspector or go to St. Mary's to talk to the woman.
Oh, okay.
Because she was not identified. She's not named in the article, correct?
Right, correct.
And Armitage said that she had not been identified. So I'm wondering if we shouldn't go to St. Mary's.
Yeah, I think we should go to St. Mary's, but that's my vote.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so
Okay,
too.
can you get me what St. Mary's is?
St. Mary's Hospital, yes.
We're gonna go to St. Mary's, and we're gonna get
hotels.
crude.
Medical St. Mary's Teaching Hospital. C11.
Okay, so now we move the tracker down to afternoon.
So we're hustling over.
Yep.
And we've got C11. St. Mary's.
Okay, so interesting. Armitage often mentions his friend, Dr. Vincent Stutton, as being a useful point of contact at the hospital. And you ask for the doctor at the front desk. The stern administration assistant.
Interestingly, they didn't take her very far.
Yeah, I mean, it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
The administrative assistant frowns at your request, but dispatches a message to Stutton all the same. After you wait for what seems like an age, Dr. Stutton appears and greets you in a detached and professional manner. He is in his mid-40s, and his clean-shaven head amplifies the size of his thick, horned-rimmed glasses. He allows a cursory nod when you tell him the reason for your visit. Of course, Armitage told me to expect you, he says. You explain that you are investigating the mysterious case of a woman brought into the hospital after she collapsed in the park. It's not my case, but let's head up to the wards and see what we can find out. Stutton leads you through the white halls, weaving in and out of the foot traffic. On the way up, he asks whether Armitage expressed interest in the lights dancing around the nearby Emperor home. Interesting.
Okay.
Some of the hospital workers have seen them, and the old building is supposed to be abandoned.
Guess it's line of sight from the hospital. Convenient.
When you tell him that Armitage hadn't mentioned it, the doctor shrugs. You arrive at Ward 6, and Dr. Stutton makes his way down a row of beds, stopping at the foot of one containing an attractive young woman. The woman is sleeping soundly, and Sutton lifts the chart from the end of the bed and consults the notes. We still don't have her name. She is listed here as Jane Doe. Strange. The wound on her chest was deep, likely created by a sharp blade cutting into the flesh. However, 5 of the upper ribs on the left side were also fractured during her incident. It is as though someone removed, or was attempting to remove, something from her chest cavity.
Yeah.
Most unusual. Dr. Noyes conducted the surgery to reset the bones. Speaking of unusual, Noyes cleared away a good deal of brownish-colored mucus from the wound. He sent the sample to the lab. The lab assistant was sent to the university library to consult medical treatises, as they were unsure what the substance consisted. Pasquale knows about strange things as well.
Okay.
Pasquale.
And then we know Pasquale as
Right.
being Armitage's kind of little,
Right,
his
he's the woo-woo
rival,
guy.
as they say. As Sutton ends his speech, a nurse arrives to administer a shot. No sooner is the needle withdrawn from the woman's arm, she thrashes in her bed. Sutton doesn't look concerned, and he pats the nurse on the shoulder. This discomfort will quickly pass. Then, shockingly, the woman's eyes snap open, and she screams a piercing shriek. Sutton calls for help as the woman raves madness, spittle dripping from her chin. Only at Bayfriars, but no, not there. The trees. Why are they walking? Edward, where is my Edward? Why is the trees have eyes? Edward, we were supposed to meet at the bell. Why are we here? Edward, it hurts, Edward. Stop it. Sutton steps in and holds the woman's shoulders, talking her into a calm, soothing voice. After a few minutes of delirium, the woman slips into a peaceful rest. She's really been through the mill, Sutton says. The wound will heal itself just fine given time. However, as you have seen firsthand, there are some scars that are beyond our ability to repair. You have learned all you can from the good doctor. Her effects were taken for examination by the police. I think they were taken to the criminologist, Dr. Corbett. Please let me know if you discover her identity. I'd like to contact her family members. She needs someone to look after her.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we got a lot of good leads on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, rundown. First of all, Dr. Sutton seems detached, and I wrote distracted ? Like
Yeah.
he's got something else going on, but
Right.
maybe that's related to something else. So we already got a tie back to the Emperor home,
Right.
with lights being in there. She's currently a Jane Doe, hasn't revealed her name, a deep wound potentially made by a sharp blade, but 5 fractured ribs as though somebody was trying to remove something from her chest cavity.
Right.
There was brown mucus in the wound. Someone was sent to University Library to investigate it. Pasquale.
Pasquale is a different person,
Okay.
and he also knows of the subject. So that's two kind of avenues we could go.
And then she screamed, freaked out. She screamed something about Bayfriars. She said Edward repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
She said something about meeting at the bell.
Meeting at the bell.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious if we can dig up what that might be. And then the
trees
trees
have
have eyes. And then we know that Dr. Corbett has her personal effects.
Personal effects.
So that would be another route to investigate.
And he's the criminologist, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple things now that we've been to 2 places. So we found that silver medallion at the other place.
Ooh,
Right.
I think it might be this missing artifact. So there
Wow.
was the theft. They were supposed to have a new exhibition, but there was a theft of an artifact that was on loan from the Boston Heritage Center. It's disappeared, and then they thought it had been misplaced, but it was all on consignment. Blah blah blah. Although the theft is unlikely, the artifact in question has little value. But they're investigating it. So
Okay. So
I don't know
what
if that's anything.
well, I mean, we've got a Dr.
Robert
Gladding,
Ooh.
junior curator at the museum.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to him and see
And
if
see if it was
if it was that thing, right? Like I think there's some obvious ways to go, but I think we might have lucked out, like looking at the Emperor home earlier,
Right.
and jumped ahead a little bit.
Okay,
We could also
cool.
be completely on a different trail.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested. I'm wondering. Do you think the lights are the candles? Remember how they said they could see lights dancing?
Probably
Yes.
it's part of the thing. I think that
Yeah,
knowing,
yeah.
like,
Somebody was in there doing something, moving
Right.
around with some lights.
Right.
Um,
Whether they were performing some kind of ritual or whatever.
right. I mean, it's literally right next. It can't be these 3 places.
Yeah.
That we've referenced in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what do we think about let's try Dr. Robert Gladding.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, let's see if what that artifact was. I think.
Right, because then we'll know if it's important or not,
Yeah.
and then we can.
Well, let's see if we can
Track it
find Mr. Gladding. And then I will. It's my read, right?
Mhm.
What is it? Robert Gladding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got an R Gladding.
There's a
That's the
couple
only
Gladdings.
Gladding. So let's see. See if we can find F27. And you got. I like trying not to see what other
Yeah,
places.
yeah,
although,
yeah, don't-
although if they're labeled in numbers, so they don't necessarily mean anything. All right, F27.
I'm gonna take notes.
Okay. Well, we might be in some trouble here.
Uh-oh.
The small apartment of Robert Gladding is currently unoccupied. A neighbor sees you knocking and tells you he works at the University Museum. So we went to his place and not his place of
shit.
business.
Of work.
Okay.
So that was
That yeah.
So is that what we're doing morning of day 2?
Going to the museum?
Is it?
Yeah, I think we should go.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's,
because well, and so here's the thing. So we track it down, find out that it is or is not the medallion, and then if it is the medallion, then we have to go figure out what the importance of it is.
yes.
So we'd only be wasting one. Of course, we could go directly to finding out what the importance of the medallion is, but that's kind of assumptive. So
So what is it? Where does he work?
University Museum.
University Museum. Okay.
And write that number down that we went to.
oh yes.
University Exhibit
So that
Museum.
was F.
27. I think.
27.
Okay.
What was it? The University Hospital?
University
Oh, museum.
Exhibit Museum.
Oh, let's see if there's something like gas stations, graveyards, hotels, law firms, local lifestyle, government, medical, newspaper, other private. I mean, maybe it's listed in alphabetical. Schools,
Clubs.
clubs,
Stores.
transport, university. Copley Memorial Bell Tower.
Sounds
Oh.
fun.
I just ran across that.
Okay, C14.
Meet at the bell.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Edward, the Bayfront.
Yeah, let's mark
So,
that
so
down.
just something to
Yeah.
keep in mind.
Okay.
There's the
Oh,
university
cool.
has a bell tower. You just going through here and looking, you can
Yeah.
run into stuff, right?
Unfortunately, there's no museum. I think they're lying here.
Okay.
University, there we go. Exhibit Museum.
Yeah,
C24.
C24. All right. So we're all very.
It's all.
That's all right
it's-
there. Like
it looks
we're
like it's
literally
all.
across
Okay,
the street
okay.
from.
Yeah, it's all around South Garrison Street and
All
West College Street.
So should I go again since I got literally
Yeah, go
one
for it.
sentence? Or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care because I'm supposed to be the note taker.
That's fine.
You got this?
We're sharing.
All right. So
C24. There we go.
the C23A threw me out. All right, C24. The University Exhibit Museum is closed, so the iron-studded doors are fastened tight. On a hunch, you head around the side of the building to the loading dock. There are several workers and a policeman lingering on the dock. The policeman is taking statements from two men dressed as watchmen. To one side, nervously pacing, is an academic type in a dust-covered suit. You approach the academic, who introduces himself as Dr. Robert Gladding, a junior curator with the museum. I can't believe this has happened. This exhibit was going to be the thing that secured me the job of senior curator. Now Richard is going to get the post for sure.
Who's Richard?
As he wrings his hands, you learn that both he and Richard Jedry, the other junior curator,
With a J?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
have been competing for the vacancy of a senior position. Both were given exhibits to display, as well as respected curator as a well-respected curator is arriving from Boston to present the board with his opinion as to which should be promoted. Who would steal a 12th century ritual bowl except someone wishing to sabotage my exhibit.
Ooh, interesting. A ritual bowl.
It's
Okay.
not worth anything to anyone despite its age. There were very few people who even knew of the bowl's arrival, just the University Museum staff and the staff of Rare Books and Maps. Rare Books and Maps is the name of a place.
Yep.
What will Mr. Ingram think? I'd better send a message over to the Bancroft Arms to let him know. Mr. Ingram at the Bancroft Arms. With that, Gladding hurries away. Okay, well,
Interesting.
this didn't tell us anything about our silver medallion, but it
No,
did.
but there's another stolen artifact.
Okay, well, and
Yes.
so I have to bring up something from the newspaper now,
All right.
which is why I wanted to know
The
how
J.
that guy's name was spelled.
Yeah.
Underneath the personal ads, it says LP. It must not happen again. Down and RJ know what this means. So I was wondering if that RJ is that. I don't know if that's relevant at
interesting.
all,
They're
but who's
they're
this
using
LP?
the personal ads to communicate whatever's going on.
Yeah,
Wait, CS missing tabby cat.
I don't think this is
Okay, it's
relevant.
not relevant. Okay.
Reward, blah blah blah.
LP.
Interesting. LP.
LP.
Have,
Have
we
we
run across
into
them?
any LPs?
Well, not that I can tell,
That's interesting.
but last names of P with first names of L.
Right.
Peabody.
L
Peabody.
Why
Peabody.
does Peabody sound familiar?
L. Pierce.
L Pierce. Okay.
L. Pratt.
Okay.
We got a lot of options
Okay.
there, but let's
All
keep
right.
it on the
So,
back of our
well,
mind.
anyway.
U. L. So I will say that the L. Pratt
Yep.
is in the University District.
Okay.
Oh, right. U26.
Just to like
Right.
Yeah, I mean
put that
to-
out there, right? Like it would be local to
where
we are, but I don't know if
we're
that's-
where
I don't
we're
know if that's
investigating.
relevant. It could be red herring, but I definitely need to let you know that.
Okay,
All
so
right. So we've got.
have we really
Richard?
gotten anywhere?
I don't
And this
know.
was that was our day 2 morning.
Right.
So you know stuff's got stolen. You know that people are kind of working together to screw other people over for career purposes. We know where the bell is.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, who's this Edward guy? Is he gonna somehow tie us to somebody else? Because we're discovering a lot of.
Well, we
know,
Well,
could always go and
people.
talk to the Investigator
Yeah.
Garrison.
or the criminologist that
Or the
has her
criminologist,
effects,
yeah.
like see what stuff she had.
Right. Maybe that would
So
be a
take
good
a
idea.
step back from this path and pursue
Yeah.
one
Focus
of the
back on
original
her.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's a
So
good idea.
that was what
What are you looking for?
criminologist has her stuff?
Oh,
It
Dr.
wasn't
Corbett.
Pascal.
It was
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Corbett.
Corbett. Yeah.
okay.
And Dr. Corbett would.
Did it say where he was?
I didn't write it down.
Herbert Corbett is our local criminologist.
Okay.
D45.
Which one? D?
D45.
Okay.
Yeah, it's even listed in there. Okay, so all right. So do you want to take us to D45, Laura?
Sure.
Sure. Now where is? Oh, D45 is all the way up here.
Well, he's like a
He's a criminologist.
we get
He
it.
doesn't
place
have
of
we
to
get
work,
it.
be-
right? Like
Okay.
You know,
so.
Crossing
D45 right on the
fingers.
water, right on the river.
All right. So
Slide that down to afternoon now.
Down on the river
Afternoon.
where there's
Oh,
been
wait a second. Here's another thought too.
lights.
What if we visit the Emperor's place at night?
Does it
Eventually,
make a-
because that's when they're seeing these dancing lights.
but there's only one entry
Sure.
for that location.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
true.
Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't think there would be.
Now that would be crazy if it was like D45 morning, afternoon, evening,
Yeah.
and it was all different.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not because there's the.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
You get.
so
you get one.
But either way,
Are
we got the
Where's the
information.
Garrison Bridge? Is it like obvious here?
The Garrison Bridge.
The reason I'm
North Garrison. So this would be the Garrison Bridge.
does this guy live on the Garrison
D45
Bridge?
is on it.
He lives
Okay,
right
the reason
on
I'm asking is because fires have been seen from the Garrison Bridge at night, and the police aren't listening to people when they're complaining about it. So,
Interesting.
and the letter to the editor, people were complaining about illicit activities happening on unvisited isle. So that's also right in the
Right.
vicinity. So, okay.
Super interesting.
All right.
So
D45.
this is Dr. Corbett.
Yes. The door to Corbett's lab is opened by his slick helper who leads you through. For once, Herbert isn't in his lab. Instead, he is found in his front parlor sipping coffee and reading the morning edition of The Advertiser. He looks up at your dripping raincoat and umbrella. Hello there, still raining? Did you read in the paper that a network of tunnels was discovered that runs underground the Miskatonic? Wow! He smiles and closes his paper. If you've come for evidence from the crime scenes, I'm going to have to disappoint you, he says. They think they've got it all worked out, but without needing me. Garrison must be on vacation. Dullards. And that's all he says to us.
Huh.
He's obviously upset that nobody's consulting him.
So what? All he said was Herbert's on vacation.
Uh-huh.
Son of a bitch.
I know. He's mad
Yeah.
because the Garrison hasn't talked to him. So shit. Well, so do we go talk to Garrison?
Yeah, I think we should. At this point, I think we should talk to Garrison.
All right. So I'm just gonna write down that Dr. Herbert Corbett is an a-hole.
What a dick.
I like it.
Do we have a number for Mr. Garrison?
No, but I think he's in this list, isn't he? Inspector Garrison.
I don't see him.
Inspector Garrison.
He'll be in the book, in the directory.
Okay.
Hey, when they were
No.
describing the Gladding guy,
Yep.
I put a note down, the man in the brown suit, ?
Mm-hmm.
If that was him, because of the way they were very specifically describing the suit.
Oh, he was in a worn suit.
I don't know if it was brown, but
Okay.
I did make that note. Like maybe he was. So it's good that we're going to go visit him, because
You finding Garrison?
Yes.
I
This
mean,
is
it's
fun.
probably under G.
I like
So
this.
Garrison, and thank you.
Inspector
Asshole.
Garrison.
Garrison.
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Well, there's only one Garrison, so I don't think it matters in the directory. Unless I'm wrong.
D85. Where does he work? I swear to God.
I thought it was in there too.
Well, doesn't he just work at the police
Yeah,
station?
that's not him because it's not in this book.
Right, because we don't necessarily want to go to
Inspector
his-
Morris Garrison.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Morris. He's
Garrison. This is C.
Not, okay, that's
So
not him.
he doesn't live in Arkham.
D32.
Yeah, D32.
Okay.
All right.
You want to note? You want me to note?
I'll note.
Okay. D32.
One of Garrison's sergeants, the young Mickey Tull. Where is this by the way? on the
D32 is going to be...
Oh, so it's right around the corner.
What was
Yeah.
Mickey's last name?
Mickey Tull.
Okay.
Yeah, D32 is just up here near Independence Square.
Saunters over to you and attempts to make himself useful in his superior's absence. You're looking for Garrison? He's out on a bust over at some dinner on this side of the river.
Oh, you're from the East Coast. I love
Yeah.
it.
You ask him if there is any further information regarding the suspected attack on the woman in Uptown Park, which apparently doesn't exist.
It's so
I'm saying
uptown,
that's
it's
it.
not even on the map.
Not much more to add. The lads have been going out the door. The only thing any of them have reported is some members of the Silver Twilight Lodge hanging around the old Emperor home.
Ah.
The Silver,
Silver
Twilight
Twilight.
Lodge.
Okay.
That.
You make a mental note that you might want to talk to Sebastian Lyman.
Yeah, Silver Twilight Lodge. That's one of our allies.
Okay.
Cool. Who is this policeman who first visited the scene in Uptown? Yeah, well, that'd be Matthew Keene, my friends. That'd be Matthew Keene. He's not on the shift today, I'm afraid, though.
That means he's at home.
And that's all we got
All right, so
from our good friend Mickey Toll.
we got the Order of the Silver Twilight
Yep.
at L18. So Sebastian Lyman is a member of the Order of the Silver Twilight, but he's also a mole. He is a member of this cult in name only and works secretly for Armitage, providing information on the Order and its mysterious leader, Carl Sandford.
Sanford. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so we got a couple. I mean, there's a couple ways we can go right now.
Yes, because now
Carl Sanford, missing tabby cat.
SI reward
to
to
D.
D
Pickman.
at South Parsonage Street. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's anything.
Maybe,
but
maybe not. Yeah, I mean this is full of.
that's, I mean, that's the point, right?
twists and
like,
turns.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of, maybe
I
this,
really feel
maybe
like we're
that,
gonna be
like-
completely wrong.
Oh God, I
in
can't. I
every way, shape,
can't
or
wait.
form.
I cannot wait.
Armitage,
nothing
Armitage
else,
is gonna be like,
We're
you're fired.
Yeah, you guys
really
suck.
good at chasing.
It's like go have
rabbit holes.
fun making pizza.
Well,
because,
the thing
you
is,
know,
it's just fun, like just trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
We have no idea if we're getting anywhere. But okay, so I feel like the leads we've got. If Sebastian Lyman is a mole for the Order of the Silver Twilight, I don't know if we want to show up there.
right.
We could. What was the officer's name?
Matthew Keene is hanging out at home.
Is home today.
Well, and what's he gonna know? He was the guy.
He was the guy that responded at the scene of the crime when
Okay,
the
so what are
woman
we
was injured.
trying
But
to
what can we
learn from
gain
him?
From him,
If
yeah.
he knew, wouldn't he be on it already?
I mean, maybe there's a reason he's off the shift, right? Like
Oh.
he saw too much,
Oh, like
kind of thing.
1, 2, 3.
Is that a
4,
thing? I mean,
5.
could that be a thing? I don't know.
It could be.
yeah. Well, I mean, if this Sebastian guy is,
Which one was Sebastian? He was the.
he's the Silver Twilight Lodge guy.
Oh yeah.
Who
L18.
they've seen them doing the stuff in the house that she probably came out of.
Right, hanging out around that area.
Right.
It's
Right.
probably the.
Or do we want to track down what is the brown goo? And does it matter?
Oh, so
Oh
Right?
yeah. What was
who's
the
our brown
goo?
goo guy?
Well, there were two. There's Pasquale who might know about it, but the brown goo is also in.
University
library.
Library.
Have we been there?
No.
No, we haven't gone to the library
So
yet.
either the library or this Pasquale guy, or the bell.
Or the bell, right?
Or
Right,
the
'cause the-
Silver Twilight Order of the Silver
God, there's so
Twilight.
many options.
Yeah. But
I
my
think-
question is, why was she there? Like she,
Right, what was she
like
doing in that
something
area?
went wrong because why would she even be there unless she was part of the thing? And if she was part of the thing, why did it go wrong? And was she supposed to be taking something to Edward at the bell? Like I don't know. I'm not Nancy Drewin very well right now.
Well, where do you want to follow up?
Yeah, we got some options here. Do you want to go to the university and talk to the guy about the brown goo?
Brown goo in the wound.
Yeah, I mean that seems like somebody had to have put it there, or when they like what?
Something out of the river. Yeah, I don't.
Too
This
many
is tough.
choices. Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, exactly.
We get this, right? We get this spot, or we have to stop here.
We stop at the X, so
All
we
right,
get
so
that
have,
last
we
one.
have 9 more
Yeah.
cracks to take at.
Well, and who's this Mr. Ingram that I have written down from Bancroft Arms? I was taking notes and I don't remember. This is when you were reading about the ritual bull stolen, and the only guy who knew about it was Rare Books and Maps.
Mr. Ingram, and then. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have tons of places we could go.
All right, so let's stop looking at this and think this through.
So
Ladies in the hospital.
we're trying to figure out what happened.
Right.
Okay. So the lady gave us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to the cop that was there.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to the guys that have been hanging out outside of the
Outside
Emperor
of the
home.
Emperor home. Or we can go for the goo guy or Pasquale.
Soon as maybe at this point the goo's not relevant.
Right. It might just be like a.
You're gonna want a different perspective. I don't know. I think that the policeman, I'm not feeling him much. And we know that the artifact wasn't what they have up in the Emperor home, so those are probably not even related necessarily. So we don't really need to track down the Silver Lodge people.
Well,
But it is pointing us to Sebastian, who we already know who's an ally, so maybe we talk to him to get us back on track, because I feel like we're
hopefully
spread
they
out
can
all
tell us
over.
once and for all what's up with
What's
that,
going on with that
place.
Yeah,
that
let's check it out.
location.
I say we check that one out.
All
Okay.
right, so we're rolling to L18, and is it who's reading? Is it you?
Is L18 the Sebastian?
Yes, L18 is the Order of the Silver
No,
Twilight.
you can read.
Okay.
Wait. Are we actually going to the order, or are we just trying to find Sebastian? That's the question.
Oh,
Get what I'm saying? Like-
Sebastian.
Well, let's see if it
Let's
gives
see
us
if he's
a different
in the whatchamacallit.
yeah, is he in the
different
directory?
address. But what's his last name? Lyman?
Yeah,
Lyman.
Lyman. I mean, maybe it's one and the same, and just
L18.
okay.
That's Lyman.
Cool. Yep.
All right.
So he's down here on South Parsonage Street. South Parsonage Street.
So not
yeah.
too far.
Not too from
everything.
Yeah. Everything's centering around this whole area. It's interesting.
All right, L18. Sebastian Lyman, Armitage's mole inside the Silver Twilight Lodge, can be seen through a window of his home. You tap 3 times on the porch screen door as previously instructed, and a moment later, the immaculately groomed man comes to the door, absent-mindedly twirling his waxed mustache. He glances furtively around to ensure that there is no one in sight before waving you inside.
Understandable. I get it.
I'm assuming that you're here about the Emperor home. Carl Stanford and his inner circle have been there almost every night this week. They were attempting to contact something from beyond.
Beyond.
Carl Sanford is which guy?
He's the leader of the Silver Twilight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something
Mysterious
from beyond.
leader of the Silver Twilight.
You get my meaning.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Don't ask me what. I know better than to ask. What I do know, however, is that they failed. Even the Beyond apparently doesn't want to be bothered by their likes. He continues. Carl was in a filthy mood when I saw him today.
Carl was in a really filthy freaking mood today.
I'm not doing it.
No, I just like breaking it out whenever I can.
Thankfully, when he descends into one of his melancholies, he hides away for a while, clinging to his secondary interest, preferring the old drink or 2 or 3 or 4, if you know what I mean.
Hey, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Looks like you're giving a blowjob.
Yeah. Well, what can I do?
I think they're going to leave the Emperor home alone for the time being. He will be back to his tricks again soon. Now you have to go. Carl could surprise me with a visit today. If you're caught here, that would mean an end to both of us.
God.
All right,
damn
so
Silver Twilight.
what I think is that we skipped a whole bunch of shit to find the Emperor home.
Yep.
And then we backtracked to find all the clues that lead us there.
Oh no.
And we should go to our original Emperor home notes
Yeah.
Okay.
and see what else we might do.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I feel like
Everything's pointing to the Emperor home, and
Yeah.
we've freaking
that
been
was
there.
the first place we went.
Yeah.
Kaboom. All right, so what are the original Emperor home notes? Not a lot.
There wasn't really
Yeah,
much there.
Music
I
room,
mean,
pentagram on the floor.
In the Silver Medallion.
Silver
So
medallion.
Okay, so
well, have we gone to Dr. Corbett, who has her stuff?
yes, that was the guy who was like, I'm on vacation.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay.
No.
and we talked to the inspector, right? Because he wasn't. The inspector wasn't there.
No, he was gone.
So we still haven't gone to the university library
Yeah, I mean, like,
or the bell.
we don't know definitively if me
Which bell?
stumbling across a bell was
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
right, but
So
the Copley Memorial
Bell Tower. I mean, come on. Where is it located?
C14, I mean,
C14. It's
Gotta be close.
it's got to be close on the map, right? It's right there,
Yeah.
which is still. I mean, it's
Well,
still
here-
in the district, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the hospital's here, right? C11.
Yeah.
Right. Well, she was obviously on drugs or something because she was
Yeah, you say
freaking
this.
out, like, "Ah, the trees.
Okay,
and
so
the
what
eyes
else?
and
What other leads? So we can go to the library. We can go to
Yeah.
Pasquale, if we really have to. To the chagrin of Armitage. We can go. What else is there that we can?
I think maybe Orne Library is the place to go.
Okay.
The university library.
Yeah. Oh, and that was evening, right?
Yep,
We just
that
did
was evening.
So then
Yeah.
whatever we do next puts us on day 3.
Okay. Ah, this
Okay.
is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ritual bowl was stolen.
Yep.
He has to let the people at Rare Books and Maps know.
Yep, and
Well,
Bank-
they're the only people, other people
and
that
Mr.
knew.
Ingram at the
At
Bancroft Arms.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Dr. Corbet was the a-hole, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Prick. Wait, did we go visit the investigator?
The
Garrison?
cop who was there when she was picked up.
Yeah, because we
I don't-
went to
Yeah, we did, because I remember saying, like, oh, it's under G. What the hell did Garrison tell us? Nothing, right?
he wasn't there.
Oh, right,
Remember
right.
his guy. That's where we got the
Oh,
lead.
yeah, Mickey Tully.
Yeah.
Duel.
Jeez. Interesting. There's nothing else from the Emperor Hall that
What
we can
is
really do.
this?
These are places that we visited.
Yeah, but D32. That's not my writing.
Inspector Garrison. That's where we went to see Monkey Tool.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I say either the Bell, Pasquale, or the University Library.
Well, the library maybe could tell us what they were planning to do in their.
See, I feel like the library or
Bancroft Arms.
Mr. Ingram at Bancroft Arms.
Okay.
But I think library.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like let's see what we can learn.
All right, you got a
God.
number for the library?
I do. The Orne Library at the university is C23.
C23.
Yep. It's C23A is Armitage's office in the library.
Yeah, and we can visit that for free, by the way.
We can
Oh, really?
Yeah, it won't take up a
move.
a travel.
Okay.
Okay. You come across Miss Sargent amongst the stacks in the Orne Library. Don't tell me old Armitage has got you working on a Sunday, she says with a grin. What is it you need from our repository today? You explain the nature of your visit, and your request is met with a curious look. It's funny you should say that, because the hospital has me working on something that came out of a patient.
Ah, nice.
The brown goo.
The brown
we
goo.
knew that.
Yeah.
I've had to move on to some of our more esoteric volumes after I drew a blank. Come, I'll show you where I've got up to. Miss Sargent leads you up a narrow flight of stairs through a door marked restricted, no entry, and into the restricted reading room. The librarian crosses to a heavy reading table made of solid oak and shows you an ancient tome resting there. Whoa, this is the dreaded De Vermis Mysterious, written by the German von Prinn. I'm working on a translation in my spare time. Her finger waves over a page, shaking nervously. Here, the book speaks about a mucus residue being a byproduct of a ritual sacrifice. The book also speaks of the guardians of a cult ritual, horrible monsters called the Dark Young of Shub-Niggurath. Hold
Dark
on.
Young.
I know another book that references these things. We're going to call him Shubby from now on. The librarian moves to the shelf and heads down another tome and hefts down another tome with the title Ebion embossed in gold upon its spine. She flips gently through the pages. Here is the story of the creatures called the Dark Young of Shubby, about a Teutonic knight in the 12th century who led a band of villagers into battle against the evil living in the forest. Living in the forest, trees, evil.
Right.
Ever their praises, an abundance of the black goat of the woods. I shubby shubs.
Shub Nagura.
I shubs. Lovecraft was such a racist. The black goat of the woods with 1,000 young. The shub are the height of 4 men. Let's see. This text roughly translates, they are able to stand perfectly still and lurk in the shadows of trees as if blending in, waiting upon its prey and attacking with tentacles that sprout from their hands. Miss Sargent pauses, hand over her mouth. Well, they sound frankly disgusting. I assume this is a variation on the Grendel myth of the Beowulf saga. That's super interesting.
But does it point us anywhere?
Well, first, we know that
Teutonic Knight.
she thought she was attacked by the trees.
Right.
But it could
Right.
be these dark youngs of Shubby,
Yep.
right? That were hiding behind them, and she got attacked by the tentacles, which drowned her in this goo, right? We could go to Armitage's office.
If we're here, we may as well, because if it's free.
We did learn about the dreaded Divermus Mysterious.
Yep, I've got it. I've got the Divermus Mysterious. I've got the byproduct of a sacrifice. The goo is.
The hospital was the one that was sending us. Okay, let's go to... okay, you decided to go to Armitage's office, although he told you he would not be here this week. Proceed to supplemental encounters on page 14 and read entry 1. You get shot in the face by...
Bad move.
You're
Lose a
dead.
limb.
Boom, you're dead. Oop. We're not going to look at the questions.
Okay.
All you find is a note on Armitage's door. Dear students, I am not in my office. I will be working at home this week.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
read a book in the library until I return. Okay.
Home. He will be at his house.
Oh, Uptown Park. U67.
Well, that's just cheating, but... But why isn't it in the damn book? Where
It might be, but we're just missing
Are
it.
we under parks? I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but
I mean, the 60s are down here.
Okay, so it was way further away than we thought it was. Uptown Laundry is the only uptown, and
like churches and homes and stuff like that.
yeah, but we looked,
Oh.
and boarding houses, charitable churches, funeral homes, abandoned churches, because they have to have a listing for abandoned churches.
Obviously.
Local culture,
It's not
diners.
government. Other locations.
So anyways, let's say Uptown Park is... Why is Uptown Park relevant again?
That's
that
where
where
the
it
crime
happened?
happened, right? It was the
Yeah.
first place we actually wanted to look,
Well,
but
it's
we
a park,
couldn't
it has
find a
trees.
listing
Right,
for the
but we
It
can't
has-
find the goddamn...
School sports.
Like I mean, it's literally not in here.
I'll look through this. Where do we want to go next?
We wanted to go to Uptown Park
know, I
first.
really
We
do
should-
wanna go
have
to-
we talked to the woo-woo guy yet?
The who?
The woo-woo guy. The only other guy who's probably going to know
The
maybe
woo-woo?
more about these.
The Armitage's.
Oh, Pasquale.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not
Okay.
piss off the boss.
Okay. He's on vacation. Who cares?
We could visit him at home,
Um,
but I mean, all right.
Alright,
So
I'm
our
gonna check.
other leads.
What are the leads that we got cooking?
All right. Well, so we did find that like there's something about a Teutonic Knight, like a tale that leads back to the Dark Young. So like we've got rare books and maps, or we've got Mr. Ingram at the Bancroft Arms, who he had to let know the missing ritual bowl was gone.
Right.
So maybe we go there and talk to this guy.
and see what his reaction is
Yeah.
to it. Because obviously they needed that to be able to do whatever the hell they did to her. And if she popped out at the park, she's already talking about the trees and all that. We already know it was them. So who's involved in that cult? We already know that this guy is, but maybe it's not even him, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
they're dealing with a silver locket, not the other thing.
Well, I mean, we know that. There's apparently some kind of ritual going on. So they
Oh, wait.
seemingly
What
related.
about this? So, moonshine-related death. Man found dead following party. Sean Woodhead is dead, and 3 of his companions are being held in the Arkham jail while an investigation's being conducted. Blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of booze. And the cult leader, Carl Sanford, was a really big drinker.
Likes to drink.
Right.
Oh, that's a stretch.
I don't know.
That's
Squirrel!
yeah, exactly.
Squirrel! It's
Squirrel,
fun, though.
squirrel.
I like that there's a lot of...
Yeah, there's
God damn.
it's not like, hey, dumbasses, we're going to guide you here.
Right,
It's
no,
like,
this
here's
is-
20 things.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I'm digging it so far.
I mean, like, not to complain, but are you even finding the park in there? Like,
No.
Did you?
but no.
Well,
Is that,
did it used to be named something else, or is it named something
I
else
can't
now?
find any parks in there. I'm
Well,
like,
it's not going to be on Google.
Well, what you think it's not.
But-
However, I'm
Alright.
curious if there's an error.
Yeah, like if they just forgot to put it in.
Uptown Park.
Like I'm just looking by even number now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
So where do we want to go? If we can't go to the Uptown Park, where else should we go?
I think we should go to the Bancroft
Arms.
Arms, which would be a hotel.
All right.
So can you tell us where that is?
The Bancroft Arms. It's a hotel. Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Hotels. The Bancroft Arms Hotel is N34.
So hold on. I just finished the first scenario with my gaming group, and we noticed a certain location on the Arkham map seems to be missing. U67. We spent several minutes scanning the uptown section of the map and couldn't find it. Have I gone insane, or do I have a misprinted map? If you have a Kickstarter copy, there is a cover letter that was included inside your package that explained that. U67 is Upton Park, and you can easily pencil that info into your directory.
Oh,
In the
so
alphabet- it's not in the directory.
it was a misprint.
Okay. So
Where
we
do you
aren't
envision
crazy.
it's located on the map? Maybe next to U66. Next big block has an empty space. Like, it's not on the map or
Yeah.
anywhere,
So this whole thing was just a.
right? Like, I mean, it's like, all right, so it's located between West Pickman Street and West High Street on an earlier version of the map. So that is, yeah, that's it. That is it, right,
Okay.
on
Okay,
this
so
map.
it's right next to the
to
house.
U41, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, it's where we speculated that it was.
Right.
Right, so she probably
this is-
came out of that, right, or...
So this is just a
it's
misprint.
right.
Is that
Yeah,
what, is that
there's
what they're
literally,
saying?
like, the game literally has a misprint for this big
Huge piece of the
huge
first
piece of
section.
the first clue.
Okay, well we're gonna write this in here as
All right.
Uptown Park.
So,
Writing
do we
in
want to
Uptown
go
Park.
to Uptown Park? Because it's in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
U67.
Whoops. Too far. Not far enough.
Nope. It's no.
I don't know.
So we got to stay in the
In the
first
first
mystery.
Mystery.
How about right there? Don't look at this.
Okay. Do not look at the
Here,
man
let's
behind the
slide
mirror.
that in.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, Uptown Park. We're
Jesus.
Uptown, baby.
Where we wanted to
Uptown,
go
baby.
first.
Get
Uptown
down,
Park,
baby.
much like the rest of the district, is well maintained and pleasant. The southwestern corner is heavily wooded, but you first explore the open areas. There is no sign of the police. You decide to leave the wooded corner for last, patiently aware. Yeah, aware of the warning that the trees are alive. Unlikely, you admit, but the thought does not rest well in your mind. Your search of the open areas is conducted quickly. The wooden area rises slightly, and in the trees you notice the crumbling remains of a building, all but overgrown. In a clearing beside the building, you discover a dark stain on the bare earth. It's blood!
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 A rustle of the trees catches your attention, and then suddenly your blood turns cold as the stench, akin to an open grave, reaches your nostrils. You turn in the direction of a noise. You instantly recoil in horror as one of the trees surrounding the clearing moves into view. Are you hallucinating? But the tree did move. The thing is near 16 feet tall, ink black, with branch-like tentacles that reach for the summer sky. You are frozen, fearful, and taste bile in your mouth, vomit rising in your throat. You flee, heart pounding out of your chest. Running from the territorial monster, you run for 2 full blocks. No, this cannot be. Your imagination has gotten the better of you. But it was so clear, the thing was moving. The dread books that Armitage has let you glimpse do contain... Could they contain truth?
Truth?
Truth. You shake yourself out of the stupor and sit down to gather your senses and calm your nerves. You can feel it in your bones. Sinister horrors await the citizens of Arkham.
Okay, so that's the second. So we have now encountered a Dark Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
we know
was
that's real, and it's the second mention of rare books. Have the rare books that
So we should go to the
So-
rare
so I
books
think, like-
and maps.
Right.
go look into some rare books.
Yeah, and
maps.
see what, and then we could hit Bancroft afterwards. But
Okay.
you're
All right,
right.
'cause
I
we're-
mean, those were easily Dark Young.
Yeah,
Where's the directory?
Oh, yeah.
we're running out of time.
Rare books.
Hey, we got some time left.
My heart's pounding. What's gonna happen?
Rare books and maps is N24.
Here you
Excellent.
go. Make it happen.
You want to look
Yeah. Keep this out.
in case that. All right, the North Side District, N24. The small, wizened woman sits behind the counter at Rare Books and Maps and squints over her half-moon spectacles. You describe to her the theft from the museum. Yes, I might be able to help you with that, dear. I was asked by one of the junior curators of the museum to set aside several tomes of ancient mythology for him. He wanted to conduct additional research to make his latest exhibits ring with authenticity.
Interesting.
You ask about the bowl that was taken from the museum, and the woman nods and pulls out a slim pamphlet titled From Nakotas to Present. That is what was taken then. They didn't tell me. Well, see here. That bowl is a Chthona birthing dish from Central Europe,
Okay.
dating all the way back to the Crusades. She shows you a page with a hand-drawn pencil sketch of a bowl. It says here that the bowl is used in tribal ceremonies of certain depraved Germanic sects. Sects, by the way, not Germanic sects. It is
Section one,
used-
half a dozen the
it
other.
is
I mean,
used
you
to
know, whatever.
hold or protect a new life brought into this world through birth. Strange, it doesn't look big enough to hold a baby.
Interesting.
That's it.
Creepy.
So, did that really give us anything that
No.
we can go upon other than now we know what the bowl is?
It's a
birthing?
Chthona birthing bowl.
Right. Well, at least we know what that
Birthing
is.
dish from Central Europe.
Okay.
All right, so they gave birth to something that they were.
Who took the bowl originally?
It was just
We
taken.
don't know. It's missing still.
Right?
Oh, it's still
and
missing,
the one
okay.
curator thinks that the other one took it. So
All right.
far, we can't tie either of the curators with the cult.
What was the other curator's name?
Richard Jedry?
Oh, okay. So he had the initial LP. All right, screw it. We're gonna take a leap of faith.
Okay.
Where are we going?
We're going to the U District L Pratt
Okay.
U26.
Wait. Which one? Oh,
the LP
to LP?
in the in
Oh,
the youth
whoa,
district.
whoa! We're gonna see if this pans out. If we
I don't
discover,
know.
I love it. Let's just try it.
Alright.
That's cool.
Which one?
First we have to move that tracker, right?
Yeah, so that's where we are now, like for this specific one. So we either go to the Bancroft Arms or we go here.
Go there.
U26.
Yeah, let's go. I want to
Yeah.
see if our hunch is right on this one.
All right.
I think that's pretty neat.
You guys okay with me
Yeah.
moving
I
forward?
like your enunciation.
All right. Well, guess what?
Oh shit. What?
It's not in here. So,
Oh, is it not?
nope.
All right. Well,
Oh,
that doesn't really
man,
count
that
against us,
sucks.
does it?
So if we try to go someplace that's not in there,
It's still time.
It's time.
No
Yeah.
shit. Are you serious?
Yep.
All right.
Low.
So,
Oh, it sucks. It was so close, man.
Ah.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was good.
yeah, I mean, it's probably one of three, but do we really want to waste
Waste
3
more,
clocks?
yeah.
I mean, maybe we do. Maybe it's that. It must not happen again. Down
LP,
and
it must
RJ.
not.
No, what the hell's Down? Do we have somebody named Down?
No,
Down
I've
anything?
been tracking that.
Do we want to go to the arm? Let's try the Bancroft Arms
Okay,
first.
yeah,
Alright,
let's just
so
do it.
let's-
It's N34.
Oh, you already looked it up. Thank you.
We have it.
Just because we know something probably should be there.
Yeah.
N34. It is a mercifully long entry. All right, so
Nailed it.
It is now the morning of day 4. The Bancroft Arms Hotel is the kind of establishment you wouldn't associate with a visiting academic. It is strange to you that someone of apparent high standing at the Boston Museum would be willing to hang his hat in such a cheap hotel. Stepping into the poorly lit lobby, you ring the bell. It is answered eventually by a sweating man in a stained shirt. Without looking at you, he snorts and pushes the ledger in your direction. We only have single beds, 90 cents a night.
Man,
You push
let me tell
aside the
ya.
ledger and ask him about Victor Ingram. He protests about the anonymity of his clientele, and you slam your palm down violently on the desk, insisting you are a friend of Victor's, there to retrieve his belongings. This simple intimidation tactic has the desired effect,
Way to go.
and he tosses you a pass key and mutters, "Room 29. Why don't you clean up the mess while you're
Room
up there?"
20 freaking 9, okay? Why don't you clean up the mess while your asses get up there, all right? I'm not here. I only give these things out, all right, buddy? All
So
right?
you gotta
What?
You gotta tone it to 1929 though.
I don't know how to even do that.
You gotta get some retro slang in there,
Capiche?
which I don't know what. Room 29 is in such a state that it must have been vacated in a hurry. You search every nook and cranny, and under the mattress you find a sheaf of notepaper. The paper seems to be text hand-copied from a book. You find page after page of neatly copied entries. The pages describe a ritual of the cult of Shub-Niggurath, a very gruesome act to bring a spawn into our world using a grain of seed consumed by a human. Once the spawn is
Interesting.
incubated in the space, it will eventually be cut free and released. Okay, this was our ritual.
Okay.
The host is then sacrificed, and the blood of the victim used to nourish the spawn. A few of the pages reveal sketches of artifacts used in the ritual. You suppose a museum curator may know something about these drawings.
Okay. Have we gone to the museum?
Yeah, we talked to the
Yeah.
guy who was
Oh,
like,
yeah, the dick.
Yeah, that's where you got the RJ is the other curator
yeah,
who we haven't
Richard
talked
Jedry.
to. Well, do we try to track down Richard Jedry?
Which one was that?
He's
He's
the
the
other
competing
curator.
curator.
Oh, right.
We know he's the RJ.
Yeah.
Well, we know he's
We would think, we
Our
would assume.
RJ.
Yeah.
Well, so we know that Victor Ingram's
So
part
wait,
of it now.
So she was used as the sacrifice? Potentially?
Yeah, but they didn't
Yeah,
get.
but
They
why
didn't.
did she get? How'd she get away? And why was she
Well,
supposed to meet
did
somebody
she get
after
away?
that?
Well, she did. Get
Oh,
away.
we
She
never
wasn't
went to the bell
sacrificed.
tower either yet.
Yeah.
We haven't gone to the bell. We haven't gone to.
But it's not like somebody. It's not like that guy's gonna still be hanging out there waiting for her.
He might be looking around.
Ah,
But
man.
it was
Like, we
from
might-
the night before.
Oh yeah.
So he's probably not there.
Jay, he might not. Oh no, the news was in the paper.
Yeah.
Although she wasn't identified.
Correct. So he might not be reading the paper. I mean, I guess.
We do have an R. Jedry listed. So we could go after him, or we could go to the Bell.
Good question.
R. Jedry is.
I mean, is he just a little shithead trying to up his career? Do you think he has anything to do with it?
Well, the other guy was the dick, wasn't he? Right? Our Jedry, we don't know really much about. Yeah.
Right.
Well, no. The other guy was the
The
one who
a-hole
had
was
had
Dr.
his
Corbett.
had the bull stolen.
Oh, okay.
Right. He was the other
Oh.
museum, the
Robert
junior
Gladden.
museum curator.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
he thinks Jedry's going to get the senior job because his thing went missing.
Right.
Well, and which one of the two were the ones doing the extra research at the library or at the bookstore? Remember, she said that one of them had been wanted to do more research for a better show, but maybe that was a cover,
Maybe.
right? Do you remember which one? Well, we've already talked to the one guy, so I might as well. That leads me to want to talk to Jedry.
Yeah, let's go after Jedry. Fuck it. See what happens.
I mean, the worst that's going to happen is going
Move
to be a
that,
total fail, and you've already had
yep.
yours. So.
Move that clock down. What's Jedry's...
F-54? Yes, F-54.
Okay. Here, you take notes, too.
F-54. Okay. Richard Jedry is an amiable man in his late 20s, dressed in a bohemian manner. He tells you that he had nothing to do with the missing artifact. You further note he appears sincere about Gladling's distress. He confirms that the judge of the exhibit competition was to be Mr. Victor Ingram of the Boston Museum.
Who abandoned his room
Yeah.
at the
Right.
hotel.
Right.
And that's
it.
all we got from him.
Okay.
But now we know that that guy was the judge, so...
Yeah, he was going to be the judge in the contest. Huh,
I don't
interesting.
know if either of those curators...
Does that even matter? I mean, is it relevant in any
I don't
way?
know.
Where else?
All we're really trying to figure out is what is happening, right?
Right.
Well,
So
we
we're
know
not.
what's
Are we solving
happened.
a crime? Are we catching somebody?
No, we're just trying to
Okay.
figure out
We're
what's
just
going
trying
on.
to get...
So
well,
right now-
so,
I feel
yeah.
like we know what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she was used in the ritual to
Right.
be to be a host for these dark young, right?
Right. They got the dark young out of her potentially with the stab wound.
Yeah.
But they didn't
Right.
sacrifice her.
Right. They never completed the.
Right, so why didn't they? Did somebody come in
Well,
on
Yeah.
them?
What was that, Edward?
Okay. Well, let's
We need
let's
to
look
go to
into
the
Edward.
tower,
So let's
or-
go to the Bell.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
Yeah.
we don't
let's
know
try
his
the
last
bell.
name,
And that
so...
that could be our last one. I mean,
right.
unless we need to.
Unless it leads us
Somewhere else,
somewhere
yeah.
that's brand new.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're going in circles.
Okay.
So should we try C14 will be our next investigation, and would you like to...
We also have Pasquale. We could go towards him.
Is he the woo-woo guy?
What is woo woo?
This is a Laura thing.
Spiritually inclined
Ah.
to know things that other dummies don't.
Yeah, he's a resident occultist and spiritualist. Yes. woo woo.
Oh, God.
I'm a little woo-woo.
All right.
So
Would you
it's
like to
okay.
go to C14?
But he knows about the great old ones,
the
which
bell.
we have Shubby, which we've learned of.
We know...
But we...
But what are we missing?
Our boss
I mean,
our boss doesn't like when we go to him.
How will he know?
But why doesn't our boss like when we go to him?
They're just.
You think he's trying to solve something, or is he just...
Well, you know, they're.
or does he just discredit him because it's easy to discredit woo-woo? All right.
C14.
Please don't be another dud.
the bell tower? Ooh.
No.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, fuck. It's not in here.
It's not in.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Move the-
well, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe
Yeah.
we already know. So I say at this point, we have to go see the other guy. He's our only lead. Who
Well,
are our other
Do
allies?
you mean the woo-woo guy?
Well, we can also go see our boss at his home.
Oh, that's true.
Because he took the week off. Why would he take the week
Well, he
off?
said he was working from home.
Okay.
Then he wouldn't be at the thing. So if we could, we could go to Armitage's house.
Yeah, so we
But what's
can...
that going to get us?
Well, he's probably already solved it.
Who are our other allies? Just as a question.
we have the inspector, we have a dispatcher, Dorothy Davis, who's with the Arkham Historical Society, genealogical records if we need something like that, Pasquale, who's the woo-woo, Sebastian, who we went to, Donnie Clark is a star reporter, Ambrose Checkley, notorious gossip hound and high society mogul. And Armitage takes up. There are 2 notable locations in town where you can gather information. The Arkham Sanatorium
We haven't
made-
been there.
provide you with some unique perspectives on your case. With the right kind of ears, you may find insight listening to the ranting of patients. Armitage leans forwards conspiratorially. I'm not saying that I'd ever frequent such an establishment, and in these times I even deny they existed, but the speakeasy can be a valuable location to visit. As a comment, if secret gathering place for all types, someone is bound to have heard something. Plus, the libations there cause folks to be a little more forthcoming than usual.
I mean, I could use a drink.
I could use a
Everybody
drink.
could use a drink at this point because we're all like, there's some crazy shit going down in the woods. And
So we can go to the speakeasy and see if there's anything there. We could go visit Armitage if we want,
Well, we
or
got time to do 3 things.
or the woo-woo. We could do all 3.
well, let's just do all 3.
Let's do speakeasy first.
It's gonna
'cause
be evening,
'cause it's
so let's go
evening,
get a
let's
drink.
Get a
You know,
drink.
let's get a
Let's get
nightcap.
a drink at N4.
N4.
Completely reasonable.
N or M?
N, also not there.
Also not here. Not relevant.
All right, we're going to Armitage because
Okay, where's he?
we know he's at his house, right?
Right.
All right, so Armitage, it's H Armitage, right?
Yep.
U8. God, so it's
Fuck.
morning of the last day, really.
We're gonna go visit Pasquale. Professor Henry Armitage is not at home when you call, but his wife hands you a note that reads, "If you need me, I'll be visiting the hospital, and then I'll be off to consult that old fraud, Pasquale Fenton."
What an asshat. All right, so our last thing we do is, should we just call it? Should we go to Pasquale?
Wait, didn't we have 3 things to do? What was at the speakeasy?
Nothing.
It wasn't.
It wasn't even listed.
Like, it was closed. We went there, he's not there. And why isn't he there? He said he was supposed to be there. Well, have we visited Pasquale?
No,
No.
we
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 haven't.
have to then, because he just said that he was there.
I think we know everything without visiting Pasquale.
But why not do it anyway?
Well, we get it helps us
points.
if we don't
Oh.
at the end through scoring.
Alright. Well, I mean, okay, I agree. What the hell is that guy going to tell us that we don't already know?
It's true.
I mean, I feel like we tracked that down pretty well.
Okay. Let's
All right.
let's
We're
end
calling
the
it?
investigation.
All right, so
All right, let's
is there any
see.
special thing we need to do upon ending the investigation?
Nope. Now we
Answer questions, I would imagine.
we go to the solution phase. As a group, the players proceed to the following steps in order. Question and answer phase. The question section contains a list of questions that can be answered based on information during the investigation. For each question, players should decide on the best answer based on the notes they have taken and information they recall.
I'm going to say we blew this and we can totally do it again, and it will be because I saw the first question and we don't have it.
Really?
Oh,
No.
Oh, this is
interesting.
going to be
Let's
great.
do it anyway.
Encounters in newspapers may not be reread at this time. Normally, questions are answered as a group based on consensus. Players, however, agree before the start of the investigation or privately, blah, blah, blah. Scoring. So let's answer the questions first.
Okay.
Okay. What is the name of the woman who collapsed in the street?
Oh, for God's sakes. We didn't care. We were...
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait. Jane Doe. Done.
Well, put it down.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Okay.
Who was the suspicious character that made a quick exit from the crime scene? Now you suspect
That
because
the.
we can't do this or this, but we can consult our notes.
I mean, I wrote down, was it Gladding?
all right. So let's.
So that's, I have to put that. What's that
Okay.
guy's name? Robert Gladding. Okay.
How did the woman come by her injury? She harbored Dark Young and was about to be
Stab.
sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the danger in the park?
A Dark Young.
Okay.
What was stolen from the museum?
Was a birthing dish.
Bowl. Wasn't
Who was the
dish.
out-of-town cultist of Shub-Nagurath? I'm going to say it was the guy from the museum. Ingram.
Victor
Ingram.
Ingram. Okay.
Oh,
Why did
here's
they-
one. Why did the cat hiss at the wall on East Daltonstall Street?
What? Did we ever get a part with a cat hissing?
No.
Because the woman's name was written on it. We have no idea on question 7.
No. No idea.
Who did the hospital workers see on the top floor of the Emperor home? I'm going to say the cultists of
The leader?
Shub-Nagurath.
Yep.
Well, who
Or was
And
it?
it
Is
could be Victor.
Wait. The Order of the Silent
Carl
Twilight, right?
Sanford?
Oh, Lyman?
No,
yeah.
Sanford.
Sebastian Lyman.
Wait, who?
Oh,
Sanford's
oh,
the leader.
Carl Sanford, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Crazy. What was the name of the late night graveyard visitor?
The late night
We didn't.
graveyard.
We
didn't
got
go
graveyard
there.
nowhere. Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Barclay Rutger up to? Who the hell's
What did the
Barclay
late
Rut-
night graveyard?
No.
Oh, sorry, I missed one.
No.
9.
No, don't know.
What was Barclay? No clue. Late night graveyard visitor. No clue.
No idea.
Why did the late night graveyard visitor visit at night, and what was he doing? We don't know. And what is the word scrawled all over Emperor Home? I wrote that down.
Oh, the
Narthilatep.
So maybe they were being. Let's just take a wild stab that they were
Yeah.
getting born in the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, we've got like a big swath of 3 questions
we
here
didn't
that we have
even-
no clue.
Yeah.
Like Barclay Rutger, that name.
Did-
BR, though, I bet. Was that?
Well, we can't
No.
reread the paper.
Yeah. We
Well, it
can't.
doesn't. But anyway. Okay.
It wasn't in that
What was the
section.
name of the
All
late
right.
night?
So, ready?
Wait. Okay. So
Yeah.
scoring phase.
Okay.
Their score but found. They also assess sanity penalties to their score as well as penalties for not being efficient as Armitage, as revealed in the path of Armitage. Armitage's path will always allow them to answer all the questions, and in some cases, Armitage's path is only representative of an efficient path players could take in order to answer the most questions. Players compare answers they gave to the questions. Players can then adjust their score based on the sanity penalties section. This section might assess a penalty or score. Okay, we'll figure that out after we score
Are
our.
you ready to do this?
Okay.
Okay, so. And we just go through it in this order.
Yep.
Answers. So, what is the name of the woman who collapsed in the street? Martha Modine.
Nope.
No idea. 2. Who was the suspicious character that made a quick exit from the scene of the crime?
Oh, Jesus.
Edward Hartwell. We've got our Edward. How did the woman come by her injury? The ritual extraction of the spawn of Shub-Nagurath.
Hey, we got 5
Yay,
points.
Woo!
What is the danger in the park?
The Dark Young.
A tree that comes alive is 1 point, or if you knew the name of the creature, Dark Young,
Yeah.
3 points.
3
instead.
points.
Okay.
What was stolen? A ritual bowl, a Cathona birthing dish.
2 points.
2 points. Yep. Who's the out-of-town cultist?
Hey,
Mr. Ingram.
yeah. 2 points.
Why did the cast hiss at the wall in the East Stalton Street? It was sensing the seeds of Shub-Nagurath in Edward's basement.
Okay.
No. Oh, of course.
Thankfully, that was only 1 point.
Yeah. Members of the Silver Twilight.
Yeah, I mean, we
2 points.
specified, but
Yep.
yeah, they saw members of Twilight. What was Barclay Rutger up to?
Wait,
Drinking
hang
with
on. 2 points.
drinking with his friend on the unvisited isle. Like we.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah, it was
mentioned it, but we
unvisited.
never
Yeah.
pursued it. So.
What was the name of the late night visitor to the graveyard? Thomas Ilsley? No clue. Why did the late night graveyard visit at night? And what was he doing? He suffers from insomnia, and he was conducting research for his book.
Okay, cool. It's cool. Okay.
And what is the word scrawled on the Emperor home?
1
Our
point.
Thylotep, 1 point.
Okay.
All right, sanity penalty. If you visited Uptown Park, U67, encountering the dark young, deduct 1 point from your score for mental trauma as you try to convince yourself that your imagination got the better of you. Eat my ass. Like, we looked all over for that place. It wasn't even in the book. All right. Locations visited. Count the number of locations you traveled unless a location did not contain an actual written encounter.
Yeah, so
Okay,
if
so
we
we had
didn't
2.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
that we didn't.
Deduct 1 point for every location you traveled beyond 7 locations.
Okay.
'Cause
1,
Armitage
2, 3,
was
4,
able
5,
to
6, 7. So we went, and then we had 2 that didn't count. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because he was able to do it in 7. That son of a bitch.
Okay.
So how many points do we
10.
have? 10. All right. So
We lost.
12 plus points. You win. On the following page, you may view the locations Armitage visited. Fewer than 12 points. Armitage realizes you're still an amateur, and he offers you a bit of help on the next investigation.
Okay.
On your next investigation, you may visit one more location more than Armitage without scoring a penalty for that location. If you scored 18 plus points, you've done quite well, but now you are convinced that you have attracted the attention of someone. Go to Investigation 2 Supplemental Encounter section and read entry 12. The dangers, twists, and turns will increase in Investigation 2.
Well, I gotta say we were close at least.
Now let's check out how Armitage went about this. He
Yeah.
first went to the hospital, which we did go to.
Okay.
Okay, and what did we learn there? Because I'm curious to see what his path
Okay,
was.
what at the hospital? Dr. Sutton was detached or distracted. He commented on the light at the homes.
Brown mucus.
The brown mucus,
University
dark,
Library.
sharp blade. She had fractured
Okay.
ribs.
So it was the brown mucus that he said was being researched at the University Library.
The next place he went was the
immediately
library.
went to
So he went to the library, talked to the woman, and she talked about the Cathone.
The bowl.
The bull. So we went to the museum, or he went to the museum. He realized that the bull had been stolen.
Then he went to Pasquale.
Yep.
to find
who
out what
we're
the
not
bull
supposed
was
to go
for.
to. I was like really hesitant to go to him because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
literally says like you shouldn't do
With
it.
a chagrin.
Yeah.
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 And then
Corbett.
Corbett, the criminologist.
Now we went to him.
Yeah.
And Corbett didn't give us shit.
Let's see. Corbett. Yeah, he was an a-hole.
Yeah.
What is Rennie's boarding house?
I have no idea how you got to a boarding house.
Well,
from
it had to come from
Shithead.
Pasquale. Like that had
Okay,
to be
sure.
something.
We don't-
Oh
we
yeah, it
don't
was
know what
something
he
in
said.
Pasquale's.
Right, and then
And
Edward
Hartwell's
Hartwell.
house. He literally had. Okay.
So,
Right,
So,
so we
the,
should've
the,
went
the place
to
that
see
it kind of
Pasquale.
said we shouldn't go.
But you were so
is-
reluctant.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
fuck,
agree.
let's do it.
You know,
You're like,
okay, yes, you'd have got us there.
Well, no, but I did want to see Pasquale.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, crazy.
Okay, this is cool. I like this a lot.
That's a great game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to erase my memory and play it again.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do the second one.
That's so cool. Like it's really a choose your own adventure.
But
and-
it's more,
but
right?
you're
Like,
trying to figure out all these details.
Right.
You're really
It's
living
so-
out a Sherlock Holmes adventure.
Yeah, and it's so wide open. You can totally mislead yourself.
Yeah.
can we reach that box? I just kind of want to let people know, right? Like, in this box, there's eight total cases,
Yeah.
right? So we just did the Grain of Evil.
Yeah.
Next up is
Flesh
and
and
Blood,
Blood.
The King Cometh, The Slumbering Solace, The Serpent's Vengeance, The Stars of Tokelau,
Yeah.
The Vanished Girl, and Pasquale's Wager.
But what's really neat is they all start to play off and tell this one giant narrative.
Well,
Right. Right, because inevitably what we
What was our
learned from this
newspaper?
one is somehow going to lead into the
Oh,
next
just
one.
this one.
But so we had our June 30th,
30th.
newspaper.
But there's so many other newspapers too. One
Right,
goes
so
with each.
over here
As the
for the
story
next, you get
goes.
on August, you get
Yeah.
August 8th. But I think there's maybe clues in the previous one from here. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
because
Like,
you can look at old newspapers.
Which means you would want to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very clever. The
It's such
design
a
of
great,
it.
great way to play a game.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game.
Yeah, I would give it double thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so great, and especially because it's set in a Lovecraftian setting. I mean, you're going through these ideas with demons, and you know,
Right.
you're visiting the Emperor's room where you see a
Well,
pentagram on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, we jumped straight in with
into that.
the Dark Young
Yeah.
attacking us in the forest and
Right.
warping our sanity. Like, we tried hard to find that park, and then it gave us a penalty. Like, we'd have been 1 point away from winning
Right.
had
Right.
we not had
Right.
that penalty.
Right.
So we have to remember that while investigating, we're trying not to actually expose ourselves to the maddening effects of batshit
Right.
crazy H.P. Lovecraft fiction.
Yeah, which is definitely easy to get sucked in.
I thought you got bonuses if you did it sooner, but I guess I'm wrong.
Well, you don't get you get
Right,
less
right.
penalties if you do it sooner.
Right.
Right?
Right,
Because it
but
was
you don't-
subtracting.
But yeah, I mean, you still have
Right,
7.
right,
so on the
right,
next one,
right.
we'd have 8 before we even
the
get a
reality
penalty.
is, we could have stopped. Like, we didn't. I feel like in the last 3 or 4 things we did,
I
we
think
didn't
the
learn
last
shit.
4
Shit,
things
and we
Right.
could have
didn't
stopped,
learn
and that would have
shit.
saved us.
Yeah.
The
That
penalties.
we would have not been
all the
penalized.
penalties.
We would have missed a lot of questions, but
But we
still would've
But the thing is, we
won.
wouldn't have missed the high value questions that
Correct.
we answered
Right.
Right.
Just the
yeah.
little ones.
Like the
why
little
was
ones about the
cat
freaking
hissing?
guy who went to the graveyard to, because he has insomnia,
Right.
it's
which
not
was
even-
only worth really 2 points.
Well, and so we would
But
have
it's not-
finished with 14 points, which technically we would have won, even though we still had a bunch of missing pieces.
But it's great stuff. Well, it just goes to show you don't actually know what kind of questions are going to get asked.
right.
Which I think that's great, right? Because if you were specifically trying to hunt those things down, it would kind of kill a little bit of the excitement and the unknown. And
But we did. I mean, what was cool was as we were reading through this, you're getting this awesome theater of the mind narrative about what's going
Yeah.
on, and we really did. We figured it out, right? We figured out
Right.
what was going on. It's just we didn't figure it out soon enough
Fast
or in a
enough.
more
Right.
efficient way.
right.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing overall we missed is we didn't figure out who Edward was.
Right.
Right, and then getting her name. Right, but those 2 things, they summoned
Right.
something from another world, and
Yeah.
she gave birth to some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right, like that's more important than who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, fair
super
enough.
great.
Yeah.
I want to play this again.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
no,
Let's go
yeah,
eat and come back.
we should do it again. I mean, we should go through the storyline and
Okay.
stuff,
Yeah.
But
I'm
I love
great.
this.
totally
Yeah.
on board.
That was fun.
So,
Thanks.
what do you guys got cooking this week? Anything fun? Anything?
Ed's
Talk about what
leaving
Skeleton
town.
Key's doing.
Skeleton
Key
Key.
is. I'm gonna head to Kingdom Con in San Diego next weekend. Be there with my partners at Broken Egg Games, hanging out, playing games, promoting some of our stuff. I'm just kind of helping them out with promoting some of their accessories for War Machine and Hordes, their official licensed stuff. And then just kind of working behind the scenes on some upcoming Skeleton Key Games products and some contract
Really
work
cool.
for another upcoming game, which I'm going to try to get on the show here with
Yeah,
Eric.
absolutely.
Fantastic.
Cool. And we potentially are having Mayhem and Misfits tomorrow night. There could be an issue, but we'll let everybody know if the show isn't going to happen. But stay tuned. We got a lot of great shows coming up for the rest of the week. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, everyone.
See you next
Bye.
time, guys. And then we sit here and we be all awkward till Eric goes and shuts it all
No,
off.
you be awkward.
Ah,
You know.
you'll be graceful.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I
what I do.
want to see that.